This is In Step with Compliance, a podcast by the Modern Practice Solutions team for dental professionals.
Welcome to In Step with Compliance, sponsored by Modern Practice Solutions. My name is Olivia Wan, and I'll be your moderator today. We have an interesting discussion for you with this episode. As a company, we are always on the lookout for the newest guidance and standard interpretation as it relates to both OSHA and HIPAA compliance. And we want to pass it along to you as soon as we have it. We frequently discuss hazards and recent inspections with industry leaders, practices, and regulatory agencies to allow you to focus on treating your patients. I would like to interview Caitlin Dennison about a recent issue that she had to address while on site. Caitlin, will you talk to us about what happened and what were your interactions with OSHA?
Yeah, so we had an office get inspected, and the inspector raised concerns regarding the practice's eyewash. And this is an eyewash that you're likely to see at dental practices. You may have one at your practice. The type of eyewash I'm referencing is a faucet-mounted eyewash. It attaches to the neck of the faucet, and it functions by turning on the water to the faucet. You then pull a pin and it directs the water through the eyewash. Now, in the past, this has typically been considered compliant. However, upon this question being raised, I reached out to Tennessee OSHA Consultative Services, and they informed me that generally Tennessee OSHA now does not consider this type of eyewash to be compliant. The reason they cited for this is that having to do two actions to activate the eyewash, i.e. turn on the handle to the faucet and pull that pin to redirect the flow, could delay access to the eyewash. Additionally, they cited that because potentially hot water could flow through the faucet, that is an additional hazard. So today we're going to discuss the ANSI standards. These are also cited by Tennessee OSHA, and what to look for in an eyewash if you need to install an eyewash or replace that unit.
Thank you, Caitlin. And I want to emphasize that, over the years, we've been in dental offices throughout Tennessee as well as numerous other states. And this is basically what dental offices have in place. Matter of fact, when they talk to their dental supplier and they order an eyewash station, this is what the dental supplier provides. And so I think this is really critical information to look at the ANSI standard and make sure that we are aligning the purchase for the eyewash station to what OSHA actually requires to be in place. And I think we're going to try to put some pictures in the episode to show you what they will look like, what the ones look like that are not in compliance versus the ones that would make a proper selection. So let's talk about this ANSI standard. Brenda, talk to us about flow and location.
Sure. So flow is especially important with the ANSI standard. The station must be plumbed and provide immediate and uninterrupted flow of tepid water for a minimum of 15 minutes. Hot water lines must be temperature regulated to avoid hot water damaging the eyes. Depending on the unit in use, this may require the installation of a mixing valve. And location is especially important as well. The unit must be located within 10 seconds or 55 feet of the hazard. Quite often when we're working with offices, we will hear that the eyewash station is on a different level or it's at the back of the practice. So we can see by this requirement, it must again be within 10 seconds or 55 feet of the hazard. The unit must be on the same level of the building as the hazard and must not be obstructed by doors, equipment, or other barriers. To meet this requirement, large offices may require more than one eyewash station. So let's think about that for a minute. Corrosive chemicals are just one of the hazards an eyewash is needed for. Consider that often your Ultrasonic cleaning solution is corrosive. So is there an eye wash station within 10 seconds of your ultrasonic unit? Consult your product safety data sheets to determine what other chemicals require an eye wash. Keep in mind that some hazardous chemicals may require drenching stations and or another method of rinsing. So again, this shows us the importance of the location and the flow.
Very good, Brenda. Thanks for that information. And I've actually been in dental offices that were cited over location. Matter of fact, one dental office, they had it mounted in the dental lab, which was not problematic, but the issue was is that there was a door that you had to go through to get to the lab. So if the lab was, didn't have a door, it would not have been a problem. But OSHA took the opinion that because they had to go through a door, we certainly wouldn't want to place it in a bathroom. So we have to think carefully about where the locations should be. And as Brenda pointed out so beautifully, it's 10 seconds of the hazard. So maybe you can count it out, walk to where the location of the eye wash is and make sure that it is in compliance. And I like how Brenda pointed out about the water has to be tepid. So this involves a mixing valve. Now let's turn our attention to Terry about some other issues associated to the ANSI standard. Terry, what else do we need to look for?
The other items that we need to look for to follow the ANSI standard is that the eye wash station must be hands-free. So the unit must be hands-free to be activated, allowing the user to keep their hands free for flushing. Remember, TOSHA also stated that faucet-mounted units requiring multiple actions are typically not compliant. And then you have to maintain your eye wash station. The eye wash station is stagnant water, so you need to flush the eye wash station weekly so that the stagnant water does not become contaminated. And also you want to check to make sure it functions properly. We recommend maintaining a log of these activities and other eye wash maintenance tasks. The third requirement is visibility. Do you have the signage to indicate the location of the eye wash station so that it can be easily located in an emergency? Units with visible or audio alarms may help medical responders locate the injured person more rapidly also.
Good points. Let's go back to maintenance. For the clients that we serve, we do make available quality control task logs. And so if any of our listeners are interested, they can reach out to us. But the best way to ensure that flushing the eye wash station is taking place is to have a task log, as Terry pointed out. We also provide the signage. So if we're doing a mock inspection or assessment, we are providing the signage during that visit. So if our listeners need signage, please reach out to our office about that. We have packages, or you can obtain just the one that you're looking for. So we really appreciate that we had this experience with OSHA here in Tennessee, and that Caitlin was able to personally discuss the issues with an OSHA officer and to make sure clients are aligning their compliance program with the latest interpretation that we have available. Now, as always, if you have any questions or concerns about your eye wash station or compliance matters, please feel free to reach out to the main office at 931-232-7738 or visit our website, modernpracticesolutions.com. We do have a contact button there, and we will reply promptly. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate that you trust us for your OSHA HIPAA compliance, and we'll see you at the next podcast.